Welcome in to Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Kevin Thomas alongside Jerel Hendricks. Got a great interview today. A very special guest here for a 2024 season preview. That's the head coach of the Cheraw Braves, Andy Poole. Coach, how you doing today?
Listen, everything's wonderful. Got a little rat-a-tat-tat outside on my roof with a little drizzle. Make sure I sleep good tonight, but I know I'm not going to be able to practice tomorrow, so it's a little bit bittersweet.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We really do. If this is you guys' first time tuning in, check us out on Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, YouTube, and more at Movin Chains. Website, movingchains.com. Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Coach Poole will be headed into his ninth season with the Braves. They went 5-6 last year and finished second in the region before falling in overtime in the playoffs. Coach, we talked to you last year. We got kind of your background and coaching career and whatnot, but how about your staff this year? Did you have any turnover, any new guys coming in, any changes there on that look on that side for you guys going into 2024?
I can't run these dudes off. They won't quit.
Permanent.
I have a great staff. Usually you have a staff and you have one or two outliers. Rub raw. You just don't get along with my crowd. We can go play golf. We can go to the lake. We might get in the heated argument on the sidelines. 5 minutes later, we're back. But hugging and everything else. But great crowd. Been with me since I've gotten the job. We have been friends, lifetime friends. We're looking forward to another year. These guys are always excited. Sometimes you can get to a practice and kind of ho hum. It's hot or it's raining or whatever, but you always got somebody on the staff to pick you up.
Coach, before we jump into this year, I want to go back to last season and again kind of ask you how it went there, man. You told us last year you had a young team and you guys kind of grew up. You started off slow, but you finished hot. And you mentioned, Kevin mentioned that overtime loss. What did you learn about that group that's really helped propel you guys into this season?
Well, the thing about it was they're a good group, nice guys, maybe too nice. Sometimes, you don't want to see them helping somebody up sometimes. You want to have that nastiness about you. And I think we discovered that, or the kids discovered they don't have to play nice all the time. Our non-conference is brutal. Always is. If we can get through that healthy, it prepares us for the region. But we started off really well, lost by, 4 points to AJ to start the region. Then we reeled off, 4 or 5 straight. And then it got us into the playoffs, finished in second. We were a play away from, winning the region. And, our kids really bought into it, had a really good summer last year. We lost a lot of close games, right there at the end and, in the fourth quarter. And just couldn't never figure out how to way to win. We always had to figure out a way to lose. But now they figured out a way to win, and it's been a great summer. We had a, pretty good spring. All of our spring sports were in the playoffs, so we really didn't have our full staff. But overall, we had a really good summer, and we had some injuries nag us. But the kids are biting to get out there, and right now they're caged animals right now because we can't get out there to practice, and they're calling me, why can't we scrimmage? I'm like, guys, we don't have our days in, and they don't understand that. They just want to go play. So it's going to be exciting year for us.
You mentioned, Coach, having a lot of guys coming back. How much does that help with maybe the systems on offense and defense and the schemes and the play calling where it lets you kind of maybe even get deeper into the weeds than what you usually with the group? And do you have any changes you guys foresee doing on either side of the ball from what you like to do, or is it kind of just status quo there on the scheme side?
We had a practice, our second day of practice, I believe. It was 105 outside, 96 on the wet bulb. And as you know, if it's over 90, you ain't going outside with anything on. So we had to wait till 9 o'clock. Anyway, the kids, they were just like a Friday night game. They were out there just running around, just having a good time. And some of our older coaches, I was like, guys, just relax, let them get some, some of this energy out. And as I was watching them practice, it kind of just hit me. I was like, why are we playing so fast on the first day of practice? And then I thought about it. I was like, we could play tomorrow. Yeah. Our guys know our system so well. We could play tomorrow. The only thing that would bother me was being our conditioning and getting banged on and things like that. But I think we could line up and play tomorrow. Our kids know our system so well. All our line is 3-year starters. We got a brand new quarterback, but he's been in the system since 8th grader on JV, and it's going to be exciting. These kids play extremely fast.
Coach, going back to the the off season here, going through spring and summer. What is if you had to pinpoint one thing as far as your team growing, this offseason, what would you say the biggest leap that they've made?
I think the mental aspect of it, I think last year they wanted to be brutes and just kind of overpower people. But, like I was telling some of our offensive linemen, that first step's the most important step you're going to make in a play. If you step forward, you're supposed to be taking a zone step right, the guy's going to beat you to the punch. And I think the mental aspect of the game has slowed down for them. And the schematics of our scheme has really started to make sense to them. They're playing extremely fast. And I'm like, guys, you play extremely fast when you're not thinking. And they've got it down to a science. And it's very enjoyable to go to practice. And the kids, sometimes you got to tell the kids, don't come to practice just to get it done. Come to practice and get some work done. Let's get better while we're here. We're already here. We might as well get better. And I think they embrace that approach and that workman-like mentality. And the mental side has caught up to the physical side of it.
So, Coach, obviously, you got a young team, a young group last year. A bunch of the guys have grown up now. Who are some of these special players we should really be on the lookout for on Friday nights this fall?
The biggest thing about what we talked about, with my coaches and staff, we feel like we have a mismatch on the field somewhere. We just have to find it. Returning from last year, you got Zay Campbell, all region. He's a slot receiver. Nick Gordon, slot receiver, but he can play all three. We got our running back coming back, Cam McClendon, another running back who was hurt a good bit last year, Justin Joint. He's only a sophomore. He's extremely good. And then we have a bigger running back. He's probably the best looking kid we've ever had come through our program. His name's Amari Short. He's probably 6 foot, 215 pounds, and looks like a brick wall. I mean, he's just, he's a good looking football player. And we just need him to realize he's 215 pounds. I mean, he wants to be a finesse running back, and we want him to put his shoulders over and, rupture some spleens. I mean, we just want you to run him over. But once he figures that out, we feel like we have the capabilities of, pretty much going inside, outside, and over top of you. But, rounding off our offense, we got a young quarterback. He's stepping in for the first time. Our quarterback last year, Aiden Nolan, threw for 20 touchdowns. This year, we don't want Caden to, keep it in between the lines and, don't put so much pressure on him and divide it up amongst his teammates and all the weapons he has. But, Deshaun Drake's going to be out there with us. We got our offensive lines are senior led. The only newcomer we got is Owen Johnson. He's going to play right tackle for us. But the rest of the offensive line, we're looking forward to those guys, and they're a very senior-led group, and we'll look forward to playing them. Most of the time, we'll get to play them on. We're going to get to see Dylan on Friday night, so we'll see exactly what we got. And the rest of the teams right here's got a little bit of advantage on us. They're going to get 2 scrimmages in. We only get 1 jamboree, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, Coach, how about defense? I know you guys, have got some playmakers on that side too. Who are some of those guys we should be on the lookout for?
Well, we got everybody coming back. Only 2 we graduated was Tyson Calder and Dwight Harrington, who ended up going to North Greenville. He was a very good ball player for us. Across the front, if we had to play tomorrow, it'd be Ashton Walls in the middle. He's 6'2", 310. Amari Short, we're going to play. He's more of a linebacker body, but he's so fast out of his stance, he could give some bigger guys a fit up front because I don't think he can get washed because he's just a strong kid. And our one edge players are Anthony Strong, he's a sophomore, and other Howard guys, Crawford Poole on the left side. Our 2 linebackers, D-Man Ellerby and Tyler Gordon. Our 2 spurs, so to speak, are Javion Marshall and Henry Singleton. 2 corners, Jaden Caraway and Trey Leaks, a first-time starter this year. He's an athletic specimen, a real good basketball player. And over the top's Robert Brown, who led us in tackles last year at free safety. He's a box guy, but he knows the system. He can, cover from sideline to sideline. He's a very smart kid.
We can't let the specialists off the hook. We're going to talk about the whole team. Who's kicking for you? Who's punting? Who's doing all stuff?
Listen to me. I'm glad you asked that. We have the 2 biggest kickers in America. Both kickers are 6'5".
Both playing basketball out there, huh?
Both kickers are 6'5". One's a senior, one's a junior, one's a baseball player, one's a soccer player. First time ever putting on a football helmet.
Love it.
Charlie Phillips and Daniel Rhodes, both of those guys can kick it a mile. Now, I'm not saying it's going straight, but they can kick it a mile. So they're just now getting into their own, trying to figure out, the nuances of it. But Thomas Chapman, our kicker from last year, has been working with them. And Thomas, he's going to Greensboro to kick. And those 2, when it comes off their foot, it just sounds different. I mean, that'd be a great weapon to have in high school football. If you can kick it in the end zone and everybody starts at the 20, 25-yard line, we gave up 6 kicks last year for touchdowns. So, one against, Woodland. So, you take those away, it's a different ballgame. You listen to the guys. I love our kids, and I'll put our ones up against anybody. That's why my non-conference schedule is so rough. I wanted to see how good we were going to be, and none of them called me to play. I called them. So we're looking forward to it.
Coach, let's talk about that non-conference schedule. I mean, you're traveling to 2 5A teams, going to River Bluff, going down to Conway. What made you challenge this bunch, or what did you see in this bunch, to take up that challenge for the non-region opponents?
I know we can be good. And I want to see how good we can be. I want one of those schools to slap us in the mouth and see exactly how we respond. I want to see if we're going to tuck tail or we're going to put up a fight. I also wanted to show our kids nice stuff. River Bluff High School, listen, we were there when David Bennett took the job. It was a brand new school. Of course, David Bennett graduated from Cheraw. There was a connection of us going to play. I've been coaching high school football for a long time. Got off the bus. I didn't know what to say. I was like, guys, this is a college stadium. River Bluff's got nicer stuff than most colleges do. They just redid their field again. I mean, they got brand new turf. They got 32 seniors. They're going to be a very good ball club. They play in the toughest 5A region. I mean, they with Dutch Fork, White Knoll, that whole crowd. So, and I think, I want to show our kids nice things. Conway's got a brand new venue. Everything's brand new. Why not go play it? I mean, let's go see the best. And you know what? If we 0-5 when we start the region, that's fine. We're going to be battle tested and we're going to be ready to rock and roll. And nobody in our region is going to be able to give us the punch that some of these other schools are going to be able to give us.
Coach, you've been doing this a long time now. You're breaking in a new quarterback. You got a lot of talent around him, a lot of talent up front as well. How do you maybe tailor what you do, in those first couple games a little bit differently to kind of get his feet wet without giving too much to him, but making sure that he's ready to go when that region play comes along? This
is what we telling him. Don't wreck the Ferrari. Don't wreck it. Just keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard. Keep it in the middle of the road. He's got plenty of weapons around him. We feel like we have 4 guys on our offense. If they touch the ball, they can go to the house at any given time. He does not have to carry the game on every play he makes. Listen, manage the game. Take what the defense gives you. Listen, we're going to make some splash plays. Let's limit the amount of plays we give somebody else. If we can keep our offense on the field and have long, drawn-out drives, we feel like we're going to be in an advantage there.
Coach, Debbie, is tropical storms kind of wreaking havoc around the state right now, especially killing you guys in the lower parts. We talked a little bit off air about losing some scrimmages, but what else do you have lined up, and what kind of adjustments do you have to make with your schedule? You mentioned your guys are kind of like caged animals right now, just ripping to get out there. But what adjustments do you have to make as a coach and with your staff to get these guys prepared with this unexpected weather event that's going on?
Well, the good thing is, we're a small community because they're somewhere we can get a hold of, but they hadn't stopped them from going to work out in the local gym. They're hanging out, texting me, Snapchatting me. Look, Coach, I was like, buddy, guys, y'all get out of the rain. They just, but, there's nothing really we can do. Me and Coach Eisner from Ladder are trying to figure out when we can get our scrimmage in, if we can throw together an hour practice on Saturday, if the school's going to let us get back in on Friday. It's a whole lot of what if right now. And we wanted a game-like scrimmage with Ladder, and I don't know if it's going to be that, considering it's our first time out. It might be more controlled. We might cut loose for a quarter or two, but the first 2 quarters are probably more controlled. Situation things, a lot of coaching going on us on the field. But they ain't no rest for the weary because we got Dillon Friday night at 9:30. Yeah. So, whether or not we're ready or not, they're waiting on us.
Coach, last year you guys were riding a 4-game winning streak going into the playoffs there. And, we mentioned earlier you had a tough loss in the playoffs and by a point in overtime. But what have you seen your team kind of use that as motivation this offseason? Like, knowing that they could have, made a deeper run last year and they have potential to do a lot more this year. If they kind of use that as a rallying cry this offseason, you feel like?
I have watched that tape no less than 100 times. And each time I watch it, I'll find something else I'll doodle and write down. Yeah. you know, whether it's effort, whether it's a step, whether it's, you know, not holding your block or a read we missed. And it's frustrating at the time, but it's also encouraging you because you were this close with 1,000 mistakes. What happens if you cut those in half? What happens if you eliminate all of them? They're a year older, they're a year bigger, faster, stronger, and a year wiser. So, you know, I don't want them to watch that tape as punishment, but I want them to watch it as a lesson because, you know, you lost the game. A lot of seniors last game was that it's the worst feeling in the world to watch your seniors just say, you know what, that's it. And then in the way we lost it, and, you know, but you got to think about the way that you got to look at how far we came. You know, Woodland was a good ball club. I mean, you know, and we were hosting them. We were, you know, 5-5, and they were coming to us at 8-2. So, I mean, you know, but the kids really, you know, they were wanting to get back in the weight room 2 weeks after that loss. And this summer, you know, every time I bring it up, the guys like, oh, man, and I bring it up in a heartbeat. And just wanting to talk to them about it. It's not about punishment, but it's about lessons learned and, you know, cutting those mistakes in half.
Coach, how do you kind of temper your expectations? You know, you said banners are bust. You know, do you kind of just wear that, you know, on your shoulders, like on your sleeves, and you kind of communicate that to your team and staff? Or is it one of those things where they just, you know, it's a veteran-led group now where it's kind of just understood that that's the expectation?
I think it's a little bit of both. It is a veteran group. They understand this is their last shot. This is going to be our best shot at making a run deep into the playoffs. And y'all know as well as I do, you need some luck in the playoffs. You need, you know, injury-free. You're going to have some luck. You know, we're going to have some of that happen. Anybody who wins it's going to say, you know, look back at game 5, we had this happen, or we didn't have an injury, or we got this kid back. But I have been in their face about it, just letting them know that we expect to be there at the end, fighting for a region, a home title, home region playoff games. We want to be fighting for a lower state championship, upper state championship game. We want to be right there in the thick of things. We feel like we have the crew to be able to do it, and we want them to realize it too. Because if they don't believe in themselves, it don't matter how much we believe in them.
Facing unexpected expenses and need a quick play? A personal loan from Founders Federal Credit Union can help you cover costs and get back in the game. With competitive rates and flexible terms, a personal loan from Founders is the winning play. Whether it's for a big purchase or an emergency, we've got you covered. Visit foundersfcu.com/personal to get started. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required.
Coach, a couple easier ones for you before let's go tonight. I don't think we asked you this last year, but maybe it's in your home office on a Friday or either on the bus to an away game. But what's on that pregame playlist to get you kind of fired to take the field?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't listen to all this new mess these guys listen to. I'm a Tupac and Biggie guy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm an old school guy. I can't say too many songs I listen to because some I want these kids. Oh, Coach Poole, listen to this crazy. No, but I am a Tupac and Biggie guy through and through. And that when I play some of the stuff in the locker room, all the kids like give you that sideways look. I'm like, I mean, what? You know, they don't have any substance. They just want to hear a beat and just be nodding their head. That's all they want to do. So I'm an old school guy.
Coach, I got to ask you, we get to do this. It's pretty cool how often we see coaches get to coach their son, or, you know, coaches who have played for their dad. You know, how special is it for you, you know, to have your son coming up? I saw you beam with a little bit of pride when you talked about how he was all region last year. But how cool is it having your son as a member of the squad?
Listen, I am so hard on him. I have to take a step back sometimes because I want him to be the example that everybody else looks at. I am extremely rough on him, probably to a fault sometimes. Nobody could ever say that I play favorites because I'm rough on him. It is a very special bond between us. Just talking before the games and after the games, during practice. But sometimes you have to cut that talk off. And sometimes we get tied up in the confusion between coach and dad. You know, it kind of gets personal sometimes, and sometimes he can't, you know, say, why are you being so hard on me? It's not that I'm being hard on you as a dad. I'm trying to get you ready as a coach. But we have several father-son. You know, Nick Gordon's dad, Derek Gordon's on my staff. He's gonna be with him all the time. Our quarterback, his dad, Keith Thomas, is gonna be our media guy. He's gonna run our huddle sideline stuff. I mean, we've got a bunch of parents who are around their kids. You know, a pretty good big Coach Griggs, coached his son Tegan, who's off at, you know, Greensboro this year. And it's a tight-knit community, but it's special. I don't know what it was like not coaching him now. You know, now that he's out there at practice every day, you know, taking him home and picking him up, getting him ready pregame. I don't know what it was like before, but I really enjoy it. And it's something, because when he graduates, this is probably going to be it for me. So and when he graduates in 3 years, I'm probably me and him going to make that same walk.
Coach, we had a chance to talk to New Chesterfield head coach Matt Quinn about a week or so ago. And, you know, Cheraw Chesterfield, that's a pretty big rivalry, a little intense there between you guys. I don't think he asked you last year, but how fun is that? How much does the community really, you know, love that rivalry, especially, you know, get out there and playing for that bell on that big game, I guess, the end of the season this year?
This is the thing. Me and Matt's buddies. I mean,
yeah.
I can't, you know, I can't. It would be different if he was somebody else, you know, or somebody else was their coach that I didn't know. You know, it's a friendly rivalry. I'm not, you know, one of these cutthroat deals, and I'm just hell bent on beating them by 100. You know, just beating, you know, I don't do stuff like that. You know, it's another game. We want to win, and you know, we take pride in it. You know, but listen, all the coaches in my region are good guys, and I get along with all of them. They're really good coaches, really good guys, and each game is a rivalry game because each game is, you know, you got to win. You know, you lose one or two. Like me and AJ played the first game of the year. We feel like that's going to be a region championship game. You know, we feel like we got a leg up if we win that game, and either we're going to win out and they're going to win out. If they lose, everybody else is playing for third and fourth. So, you know, we feel like, you know, that's a big game for us. And like I said, Matt, we had a radio interview the other day, and we was cutting up in there, and he's going to do a great job. Chesterfield did a great job hiring.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Matt about you know, not losing by 64. I know you mentioned 100, but 64 I think was the score line last year. Last one, Coach. Well, not the last, second to last one. Got to ask you about food every time. You gave us a list of great restaurants in that Cheraw area. Is there anything new, or is there something maybe this year that, you know, maybe you were traveling around the state or somewhere you got a great bite to eat that you want to share with the people?
Well, in Cheraw, the new hotel we have, we talked about it last time. The Dizzy's restaurant is up their game with their menu. El Sharif's our Mediterranean grill. This is very good. I'll be honest with you. I have a place. We got the bistro, and the bistro, it's really good. I think it's got one of the best fillets around. Listen, y'all need to come in town. We'll just go eat. I'm a big eater, so we can just go eat and get some appetizers and just show y'all around, and it'd be a good time.
I'm down for that, Coach. Last one for you. What are some goals you guys have set? You mentioned banners or bust earlier. You know, I guess, do you have any set out goals for the 2024 season besides just kind of that slogan there?
Well, we have so many playmakers. We want to have 2 1,000-yard rushers and a 1,000-yard receiver. That's what we want. You know, Cam McClennan's returning running back. He rushed for 900 yards in 6 games last year. Justin Joint, you know, we call him Juice. He was injured last year. He's had a really good summer. He's only a sophomore. He's going to have a huge year. You know, Caden Thomas, our quarterback, he has the capability to run, but he's also got a rifle for an arm. He just needs to let the game slow down, you know, don't put so much pressure on himself. But I believe, you know, our defense could be extremely good this year. Our offense, like I said, we had 3 or 4 guys on the offensive side. You know, Deshaun Drake, you know, is a wide receiver who blew up for us on JV 2 years ago. We're really excited about our ball club. I don't want to come out and say we're going to go undefeated and average 44 a game and, you know, win a state championship. But, you know, as well as I do, Clinton came down, Phillip Simmons came down, Chester came down, Manning came down, Lake City came down. It didn't get any easier. We thought when we lost Abbeville, hey, you know, we're all excited. And then it's like, oh, hold on a minute. These monsters from 3A came down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, we're excited. I have some really good kids, some really good players. And, you know, the goal is always in Cheraw, compete for a region championship, work hard, get there in the playoffs, have a long run. We want to practice on Thanksgiving. That's the goal.
Well, this has been great. I want everyone to go check out Coach Poole and the Braves program on social media. They do a great job posting updates on their kids and their programs. Definitely follow them on there. Like I mentioned, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all social media at Movin Chains, website movingchains.com, podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Movin The Chains brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Jerel, anything else for Coach? Let him go tonight.
Hey, Coach Poole, it's always a pleasure having you on. We appreciate you joining us again, man. We'll have to try to do something maybe in season because it sounds like you guys are poised to make a big run. And you gave us some great ammo. We got our preview shows coming up soon, so we'll definitely have to highlight Cheraw in that. But we wish you guys stay healthy. You have a great season, and we'll certainly be rooting for you.
Well, listen, this is what we need to do. Y'all need to come down on a Thursday night when we have a home game on Friday night. We can put you up in the hotel. It's brand new, and you can eat at Dizzy's. Listen, we can go to Oslo's. One of the co-owners works with me. They have a new sushi chef, and the squash fries are unbelievable. So y'all need to come down on Thursday night. We can go out to eat. Y'all can check out the JV game. Then y'all can stay up and eat before the game on Friday night, and y'all come on to the ball game and see some good football.
Hey, I'm got to get out the calendar tonight and try to figure it out, Coach. We appreciate you, man. Best of luck this year. Look forward to talking again soon, and appreciate your time as always.
Absolutely, guys. We'll see y'all soon. If y'all ever need anything, just reach out.
Get ready for the ultimate South Carolina high school football experience with Movin The Chains. From previews to recaps, we've got you covered. Dive into our expert preview shows, predicting winners and sharing insights. Then join us post-game for the thrilling recaps, exclusive interviews, and highlights you won't find anywhere else. Plus, connect with fellow fans on our Friday night spaces on Twitter/X. No one covers South Carolina high school football like us. Join us at Movin Chains on all social media platforms and visit movinchains.com today.